Good evening and welcome back to NBC News. Today I am here with the new FBI Director, Lattice. Thank you for taking the time to see us, Mr. Director. I know today's been a very busy day for you, so we really appreciate it.
Of course, no worries. It's always nice to talk to the press and make sure that the American people know how the FBI is doing and that we're making sure everyone is safe and secure and enforcing the laws.
Of course, yeah. I have 5 questions for you, if that's all right.
Perfectly fine with me.
All
Whenever you're
right.
ready.
All right, sure. First question: how do you feel being the new director of the FBI?
I feel that is a very big honor, and I'm very proud of myself for getting to where I am. And I believe that I'm not going to let the agency down, but I'm also not going to let the people who chose me down.
All right. How long did you know about Royalty Shepard's resignation, and has it been planned for a long time?
No, it has not been planned, and it is very sad to see him go. I found out, I would have to say, probably 2 days ago. I was notified ahead of everyone else just so I had time to prepare for me taking over.
What is your first big objective you plan to accomplish while you're director?
My first big change that you're going to see almost immediately enacted is that the Criminal Investigative Division is no longer going to be recruiting from the public. Instead, people will now have to apply to the FBI, go through the appropriate training and the appropriate probationary cycle before they can join one of our two current subdepartments, which are the Critical Incident Response Group and the Criminal Investigations Division.
All right, sounds good. How do you feel the FBI is doing in terms of domestic terrorism intelligence, especially with the new addition of bombs and stuff added to the game? How do you feel this has changed the FBI's intelligence and stuff?
As you know, I cannot comment on any current CID operations as they are classified,
Of course.
but what I can say is that our Criminal Investigative Division is working very hard and very tirelessly to make sure that all of our operations are a success. And in the coming days, some of our operations will be declassified for public use, but obviously they need to go through the public. Excuse me. They need to go through the appropriate channels first before we can accomplish that.
Of course. And now, of course, you can't comment on any details about what I'm about to ask, but this is just kind of a yes or no type of question. Since DC added bombs and capabilities that would allow for extreme domestic terrorism, unlike anything OSF has seen before, has the FBI put policy in place that would help prevent such attacks that wasn't there before the bomb update?
What I will say is that our Critical Incident Response Group is gaining extreme tactical training in both how to deal with bombs and how to defuse them properly and appropriately. We are going to be ensuring that our tactical response is not only efficient, it's fast, and it's secure. We're not going to be letting many civilians die on our watch by any type of threat.
It's good to hear. And the final question to you. With the new director comes the new agency directorate, which usually means changing out some senior staff and agency wide policies. What do you plan on changing during your time as director?
Well, obviously, the biggest change is finding a new deputy director. Currently, I have a few candidates in mind, but I do not believe that at this time it is the most important goal of the FBI to find a deputy director. So I will be looking for one, yes, but it is not my most priority. As for senior staff changes, I do not plan to be making as many staff changes. I believe that our command staff is very good at what they do, and I have been working with them as my tenure from deputy director and even chief of staff for the FBI.
Do you have any policy changes?
For policy changes, it's mainly to start out with is mainly just going to be getting rid of the criminal investigation recruiting from the public. But I will make sure that our activity does see a major rise because if you've noticed, it's normally just one FBI agent on at a time, which I think is a big problem. But the FBI does prefer quality over quantity. So if our agents are efficient at what they do, even if we have a lower amount of them, that is obviously preferred.
Mm-hmm. Now, with you saying that CID, you will have to go through the FBI Academy and everything before getting. Obviously, CID is a pretty big piece of the FBI. Does that mean that you guys are going to be working to strengthen your academy and training in any way?
Yes, our academy is going to include some more different types of trainings. In the past, it has only gone through tactical driving, basic combat, going over some federal laws, how to deal with them, how to properly do a case. It goes over all the basic things that you need to know to be an agent. But now we're going to do a more in-depth academy. I believe we may be revamping the academy sometime in the future so that it includes two distinctive paths. So if a person wants to join CIRG, they can do one part of the academy with CIRG trainers, and they can do another part with CID trainers. Obviously, that is going to be a little bit further into the future, as currently we don't have the members for that. But we will be adding different phases into the academy and making it a little more structured.
All right. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the newly appointed Director Lattice of the FBI. Again, we'd like to thank you so much for your time. We
Of
know you
course,
have a
thank you
very
so
busy schedule, especially today. So, really appreciate you taking the time to show the American people the transparency, just like the Lagchar administration has been doing a very fantastic job of.
much.
So, we'd like to thank you for your time. Thank you.
Of course, no problem. You have a wonderful day.
You as well.